everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Effy and I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're having a great day and an amazing week. And today in this video we are testing out the Beauty Bay Utopia collection. I created this eye look. I've used their new eyeshadow palette, the cake liner palette, and one of their single eyeshadows. I didn't pick up the lip glosses because personally they just don't interest me. I don't use lip glosses, but this is the look I created. I do also run through my base with you guys, just showing you what products I'm using and things like that, so if you're interested you can watch that too. Also, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you like testing videos, feel free to subscribe because I'm doing quite a few of them. And drop me a comment, let me know if you've picked up this collection, let me know if you enjoy it. But other than that, I'm going to stop talking, trying to work on quicker intros. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so I'm just going to put in a headband. This is really cute. I picked it up from TK Maxx and I think it's adorable. Please ignore how bad my skin is. Okay, so I'm only just realising that at no point in the video have I mentioned that I'm going to do swatches, so I'm just going to pop in here and put some swatches in. As always, my arm is completely free from everything. There's no primer, no foundation, no nothing on it. We are going to swatch this palette and the cake liner palette and the single eyeshadow, so let's do it. As usual, I'm just gonna put my finger in the shade and then swipe down my arm once. Starting from this end here, we have Halcyon. I have no idea how to pronounce that shade, I'm so sorry. The pink one is Bliss, and then Eden, Midsummer, Dreamland, Blaze, Serene and Paradise. I will say the red shade, Midsummer, this one, doesn't look as good as the others. However, the shade Serene, the dark purple, also doesn't look as good as the others. And I've used that one on my eye and it was absolutely fine. So I feel like they're all going to perform pretty well. I'm very impressed by this shade and this shade because they're quite pastel-y. So I was expecting them to be not as pigmented, but they seem to hold their own pretty nicely. Overall, really pretty colours. I'm very impressed with how they look. This is the single eyeshadow in the shade Blossom. It sort of has a yellow gold base and then a pink shift. It is stunning. And there are the 5 cake liners. Starting from this end here, we have Burst, Flora, Pixie, Dazed and Electric. They look really nice. I think some of them are more opaque than others. The shade Flora, that green shade, just there, is a little bit less opaque. I think the issue with these is that you have to use the perfect amount of water with them, because if you use too much then they come out really liquidy and not opaque enough, and if you use too little then they're thick and hard to work with. So yeah, I feel like they just I need a little bit more practice with them and I will be fine. Also, that shade Dazed, in the pan it looks more blue, on my hand it looks pretty much just an off-white really, but I like them all very much. They're very beautiful and I'm really looking forward to playing with them some more. I'm going to start with the Beauty Bay Eye Base in shade 2. Okay, so eye base is on and here is the palette. It's so pretty. It is very bright. If you're not into colours, this obviously isn't going to be something you would go for. Personally, for me, looking at these colours, I know it's only 8 shades, but because of that I do kind of struggle as like where to go with this. I'm thinking sort of purple into orange. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to start with the shade Serene, which is this one here. Very pigmented. Okay, so there is that shade Serene. I think it is beautiful. Excuse the creases on my eyelid, that always happens. It's so pigmented and so opaque and it's gone on beautifully. So now I'm going to take this shade here called Dreamland. It's kind of similar, but it's a bit of a lighter purple. I'm not sure if the tones are going to be that similar, but we'll see. Again, another stunning shade. It's so beautiful. It blends quite well with that purple. It is looking a little bit of a harsher line on camera, but I will obviously blend these shades a bit more as I go back through them afterwards. Next, I'm going to take Blaze, which is the orange shade. Again, another very beautiful shade. I do think it's taken over that lighter purple a bit much. You can't really, that's not good English, but you can't really see that lighter purple very much anymore because the orange is kind of taking it over. But that's fine for now, because when I go back through the shades, I will obviously bring the purple back into it. What I think I am going to do is just add a tiny bit of Eden, which is kind of the closest to a yellow shade that we have. There's not really a true yellow in this palette. Okay, that shade is less pigmented. I know it's slightly paler than the other shades I've used, but it just hasn't really shown up that well at all. Maybe when I go back through and build them up, it'll show up a bit more. But right now, it's not looking that impressive compared to the other shades. So now, I'm just going to go back through all those shades and build them up. Okay, I think I've got the blend to where I want it. I will say with these shadows, I was struggling a bit just because they all tend to take over whenever you put them on. So, for example, I would do my purples and then put the orange on top, but then the orange would take over the purples and then I'd have to go back in with the purples. So it was just a bit difficult to blend in that respect. Overall, I'm quite happy with this. The colours are pigmented. You cannot fault the pigmentation. It's beautiful. Even that yellow shade Eden, I did manage to build up just a little bit more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my crease. So I'll show it, but I'll speed it up. Okay, so there we have my cut crease. It's not perfect by any means, but it will do for now. And I'm going to use this pressed eye pigment in the shade Bloom. They do 4 shades of this. There's another one that's quite similar to this shade. There is a gold one and then there's like almost a blue-brown shade. And I'm really hoping that this works with a brush because I hate applying shadows with my finger. So I'm just going to use a small brush. Okay, so yeah, it's not the easiest thing to work with a brush just because it's quite flaky almost, so it keeps sort of flaking into my eyelashes and onto my under eyes and stuff, but I have got it to work. Maybe I need a bigger brush. Let me just grab one. Okay, yeah, that's helped a bit. I might also try wetting it, seeing if that just helps it bond together a bit more and be a little bit less flaky. So I'll try that now. Okay, it's a beautiful shade and I will do a close-up for you in a moment. It is stunning, it has a beautiful reflect. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is beautiful. A little bit difficult to work with, but not impossible. I've used worse shades that I really don't like, but I'm just going to put a bit more of the matte shades just in the end to blend it a bit better. I'm definitely going to keep using it. Like I said, it's a little bit difficult, but I think if you were okay with using your fingers, it would be absolutely fine. And if you're not, it does work with a brush. Maybe try wetting it and that might help. But overall, I think it's really pretty. And now, time for this palette. This is the liner palette. It has 5 shades. They are stunning. Here they are. This orange shade and this pink shade are so neon. It's unreal. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And then the other 3 shades, I think they complement the Utopia palette quite nicely. In terms of which one I'm going to go for today, I was originally going to go for the orange, but I think I might go for the pink. I think that might work quite well with this look. So yes, I'm going to find a brush for it and some water as well. Okay, so I've just picked up some of the pink on a detailed liner brush. Let me grab a mirror. You might not be able to see most of this because I need to get quite close to my face. So I'm sorry if you can't see much. So I quite like that. It's not perfect. Please don't have a go at me. Also, it's not quite as opaque as I would like. It's looking better on camera than it is in real life. I think I might need to go in with a second coat of it, but we will see. I'm going to let that dry down. What I'm going to do is catch up my other eye, do my brows, lashes, liner, mascara, all that sort of stuff. Come back, I'll let you know if I needed to do a second layer of it, and we will carry on with the rest of my makeup, I guess. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I am back. This is how we're looking right now. I will say with the liner, I think the issue I had to start with was that there was just too much water to like paint liner ratio sort of thing. So once I had done the other eye, and by the time I'd done all of that, some of the water had like dried onto the palette, and therefore when I went back in to do this eye, it was a lot thicker and worked a lot better. So I also did a second layer on this one. I didn't have to do a second layer on this one. I will say I like them. They're beautiful. It looks really nice on camera, but they're a little bit difficult to work with, although that could just be me in that I've never worked with a cake liner before, so it was very different. My lashes are these ones, the Isla Enchanted Princess of Paradise lashes. I picked them up in TK Maxx for $2.99, so it worked out well for me. They are very, very pretty. I'm just going to do a quick close-up of where we're at now, and then I'm going to carry on and whiz through my base. So this is the look. I think the blends worked quite well. The liner looks beautiful. It didn't go as nicely as I would have wanted it to, but that's on me. I actually quite like these lashes. This one is not stuck down on the inner corner. Yeah, that lid shade is stunning. I don't know if you can see the reflect. Let me see if I can get it. Not too sure. Can you see where it's cracking in my creases a little bit? That's kind of normal for me, but it's not what I like, obviously. So that's a little bit disappointing, but not the end of the world for me, in my opinion. For my brows, I use the MUA Cosmetics Brow Define Micro Precision Eyebrow Pencil. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. It was very, very cheap. It's a much cheaper version of the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I really like it. So yeah, that is the eye look. I'm quite happy with it. As you can see, I did manage to build up that yellow to a good level. I haven't done my lower lash line. I will do that once I've done my base. So yeah, there we go. There's the eye look so far. Time for the base. I think I'm just going to whiz through this and do it and speed it up for you guys so you don't have to see it. I think I will also try and use Beauty Bay products where I have them, but I will hold up all the products on screen and everything will be linked down below as usual. So let's do this. Okay, so we're back to finish up the eye. I hope you like the base that I did. Like I said, I tried to use as many Beauty Bay products as possible, and I hope you like the lip. I don't normally go for a glossy lip, but I thought this look sort of called for it. And unfortunately, this collection does have lip glosses in it. It comes with 3 lip glosses in like the entire set, and I didn't pick them up because I just don't wear lip glosses that often. I own like 4 lip glosses and that's enough for me. So yeah, I used this one from a little Etsy brand called Wild Blossom Beauty. They sent me this for free and I do actually quite like it. It has little tiny orange glitters in it, and I thought it went really nicely with the lip, which is the L'Oreal Colour Rich Matte in 227 Hype. So very bright look today. So like I said, we're just going to finish the lower lash line, get some colour on there. As per usual, I know that lower lash lines aren't for everybody. I know some people like to keep them clean. A lot of people would like to leave my look like this. I personally prefer to add just a little bit of colour, so I'm going to do that. And there we go. Let me sort my hair out and then we'll come back. Okay, my hair is a mess after being in that headband for so long, but feel free to ignore it. I'm quite happy with this look. The palette itself I really quite like. I think the shade selection is beautiful. It is all matte, but I knew that when I bought it, so I can't blame the palette for that. I think the shades are very, very pigmented. You can see how well they've worked. Again, I will say that maybe Eden, this shade, and potentially Paradise as well, might be a little bit pastel-y, which means that they will need building up a bit more, but that's fine with me. The other shades worked absolutely fine. I can't wait to use this a bit more. As always, if you want to see me do more looks with a specific palette, check out my Instagram because I tend to post on there more looks more frequently, so if I will probably put up more looks using this palette over on there. I have the pastel palette as well, so I quite like having both in my collection, I'm not gonna lie. But I think this is so different from the pastel palette that you can have both and it'll be fine. I actually think they would work quite well together because some of these shades, they don't have perfect blending out shades. I've managed to use Eden, but really I would have liked more of a yellow shade, and I know that the pastel palette has a yellow shade, so I could use them together quite easily. I think it's very good, cardboard packaging, which I quite like. Mirror, love the packaging. I think the packaging for this whole collection is absolutely beautiful. So yes, I would very much recommend this palette if you were looking to get it. Let's talk about the little pot shadow. I quite like this. I think it is stunning. It looks amazing. It is starting to crack a little bit, but that kind of just happens for me with every eyeshadow, so I'm not too upset by it. I do love the shade. Again, this is the shade Bloom. I don't know if you can see that. I might pick up the gold version as well. I can't remember how much these were. I think they might have been like maybe £5. I probably should have checked, but either way, I quite like this. I think it's beautiful. The shade is stunning. I think it will work better with your finger, but I've managed to do a pretty good job without using my fingers at all because I don't like doing that. So yeah, I think this is really good. I will say I feel like you could probably get better versions of this. I haven't tried the Colourpop Super Shock Shadows, but I've heard they're really, really good. So I think I would test them and see if they're better than this, but I quite like this. And this is in Beauty Bay, so you can, if you live in the UK, you can get it shipped via Beauty Bay instead of having to pay taxes and things like that coming from Colourpop. But yeah, I quite like it. I think if you were looking into it, go ahead. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. It's just, for me, how much use will it get because it is in a single pot instead of being in a palette, things like that. I will obviously keep using it. I really like it and I would recommend it. And finally, the liner palette. I really quite like this. I'm only now realising that I probably should have gone with the orange liner with this lip. Oh well. But yeah, I really like it. I think, like I said, you do have to get used to working with them if you've never used one before. and I personally need to figure out how much water to use and things like that. But they worked well, it's come out great on the eyes. Like I said, the first one came out a bit weak and then I just did another layer and it was absolutely fine. I'm interested to see how these sort of two shades work because they are a lot paler and a lot lighter and things like that. So I'll be interested to see how that works. I will have inserted swatches somewhere in this video, but I personally haven't done them yet, so you'll know how these look more than I will. But overall, from this collection, I know there are lip glosses that I didn't pick up because I'm just personally not interested in them. I think it's a really good collection. It is built around summer and colourful shades and things like that. I quite like that, so for me this is a really nice look and I'm happy with it, and I think I could create quite a few more good looks with these items. So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm sorry it's so positive, but I really do just like the product. I think I've done a pretty good look with these. I'm going to zoom you in and show you it up close and you can see my base and everything like that. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because I put out a video pretty much every Wednesday. So yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe. I do test a lot of makeup. Let me know down in the comments section if you have picked up this collection and if you enjoy it or if you don't and why. Let's have a little chat about it. But other than that, I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.